Hi everybody, this is Taffy bringing you chapter 9 of my 4 Kings 100% Growths LTC. Welcome to the desert. This is another escape map, though we do get to choose who we deploy. Typically for an escape all objective, we want to minimize the number of units we deploy, and being a desert chapter, we would usually want to bring the cavalry who would just get bogged down. However, this desert is a bit more merciful, with roads for our horses to run across, and minimal desert crossing actually required to get to the escape point. Interestingly, for story reasons, both Lionel and Walter cannot be deployed on this map, which is a change from the old run, and Ava is forced deployed instead. This means that despite hitting the same turn count as the old run, the strategies used will differ slightly. And Marcy, in fact, is going to miss out on some EXP compared to the old run, which will make hitting her benchmark for chapter 10 significantly tighter. Zoe and Chase will of course be working on staff grinding, and Dorian's level up on turn 1 let Chase get a mend in. Walter was just baggage in the old run, and Lionel's job from the old run is going to be handled by Euphan instead, who will take this opportunity to start grinding down the Shine Tome that we bought in chapter 7. The boss has a stealable Orion's Bolt, and we are going to need to nick that with Ava so that Cielo can promote. But Cielo still needs to gain one more level up before he can actually legally do that. Shelby is going to run through the south in order to farm EXP to get to level 10 before the next chapter and pick up the rune sword along the way. This map has 2 desert items, and they work similar to the desert items from vanilla FE8. Units that end their turn on them that are not thieves have a luck plus 1% chance of picking them up, while thieves have a guarantee to pick them up. We will obviously be rigging the desert item pickups. The rune sword is in the bottom left, and the Metasystome is in the top right. The Metasystome isn't as important as the rune sword, obviously, but we'll be giving it to Victor to give him a 200% HP growth. Something which I never explicitly said, but you probably noticed during the hack, is that short bows in this hack have a brave effect. Euphan needs to dodge either the Myrmidon or the Bolting Mage that goes for him on this turn. Wyvern Rider up north is Locritus, the brother of Lydia and Dorian, and we are gonna recruit him by talking to him with Dorian, with some positioning to make sure that he can still dance afterwards. Euphan's position makes sure that we can bait the boss over to the correct square. Locritus is our second flyer, and he starts with base stats equal to Clive from Shadows of Valentia. So, as you can imagine, his regular combat is gonna be pretty bad. However, he does have a PRF Tempest, which deals 4x effective damage to flyers and is a magical weapon, meaning that it uses his magic stat, hits res, and because of a glitch from vanilla, does not give him lance rank. We need Locritus to promote by chapter 14 to save a turn over the old run. Well, he needs to promote anyway because that is the first map on his route. He's a Walter route unit where we actually need an 8-move flyer. Mars is quite fast, which works in our favor. It keeps him from getting doubled, and that means we don't need to rig our units to miss him. Leocritus's wings let him help with the rescue dropping in this chapter. This point where we are right now is the primary desert terrain that we really need to concern ourselves with running across with our units. The the road like winds to the south and then to the right and then up to the escape point, but that would involve fighting some more enemies and would definitely cost more turns. The desert is just about narrow enough here if you look at the actual terrain data that you can just run pretty cleanly across it at its narrowest points and let our cavalry units continue charging forward. And Cielo gains the last level that he needed to get to level 10, and next turn he will trade the Orion's Bolt to himself and promote. The desert terrain hurts him less since he does have the nomad movement from vanilla GBA. If we could rig Shelby to crit the Myrmidon who's going to attack him on this turn, he would actually hit level 10 on this enemy phase. This extra turn that he has at level 10 would mean that he could technically promote and then get a Mendeus in on Lacritus. Chielo's early promotion does mean that he doesn't really get to build big stats, and his combat will, for the rest of the run, be somewhat shaky. He gains access to swords, meaning that he can use the light brand for 1 to 2 range. The rest of the map is pretty much just running around the oasis. That mage on the right and the Myrmidon who's about to suicide into Shelby are the last two enemies that we need to concern ourselves with. The blue gem we get here will help fix our money situation for the next shopping chapter, which is coming up soon. Marcy has now brought the Axe Reaver down to 3 uses, and we only need to wear it down by 1 more use for it to be ready for chapter 15. I waste a few seconds here because I didn't realize when I recorded the emulator movie that I forgot to redo this portion to be a bit cleaner action-wise. My apologies for that. Position all of our units so that they can escape on the next turn, and we stay out of the range of the Myrmidon down south. And that will be Chapter 9 completed in 7 turns. See you next time.